High School Musical actress and Disney star Ashley Tisdale recently opened up about being bullied in what she called a toxic mom group. Joining us now with a look into adult bullying is clinical psychologist Dr. Noelle Santorelli. Good morning and good to see you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
How does someone like Ashley Tisdale get bullied?
A lot of people have that question, right? And it's been so important, I think, for her to speak out because when someone with that much influence is sharing that she has had negative experiences with other women, it gives the regular women permission to speak up and know that what they're experiencing isn't something totally abnormal or unusual.
Well, I'm going to speak up too because I know what she's feeling. I know what she's feeling. I think many moms who are watching right now know about this adult bullying. I dealt with it a lot when I was a child. Why as an adult?
So, adult bullying is actually a lot more common than people think. About 1 in 3 people say that they've been bullied or experienced bullying as an adult. So that's about 30%. And my guess is that's probably an underestimate because adult bullying is so subtle and so covert that a lot of people don't even know they're experiencing bullying when they're experiencing bullying.
Can you give us some examples? Like when you say it's so subtle, what are we talking about?
So it's called covert bullying or relational aggression. And what adults tend to do is they tend to use relationships to create harm or damage. And that might include things like gossip, triangulation, so forming, two against one, specific exclusion, so excluding people specifically to punish someone. So let's say you didn't go along with what you were supposed to go along with the group, or you spoke up, they might just not include you. Things like gatekeeping. So when we're talking about mom dynamics or the mom world, things like, oh, I don't know when tryouts are, or I don't know what gym they're in, specifically to damage you or your child's opportunity.
You would think that us moms, we're all here watching together. It's already so hard raising kids and doing all the things that we do every day. You get into a mom group to be able to find some support and friendship and figure out this thing. How does this become toxic then?
So yeah, and part of what is so deceiving and destabilizing for moms or for the women that are in these groups is that we usually form these groups because there's a shared interest or there's some overlap, right? So you're in the same school, you're on a same sports team, you live in the same neighborhood. And lots of times what I notice is that it's when a clique forms. So when a clique starts to form, just like it did in high school, it's when the cliques begin, that's when this toxic behavior starts to appear. And there's a big difference between being in a clique and being in a friend group. There's nothing wrong with a big friend group. Big friend groups tend to be open. They don't have hierarchies and they welcome people coming in and they welcome people leaving or changing roles within the friend group. In a clique, it's more about hierarchy and control, and there's unspoken rules that you have to follow, and it's a closed group. They don't really want people coming in, and they really don't want people leaving or changing their role within the group. And so when those cliques form, that's when I start to notice the toxic mom behaviors come out.
But what if there's people that just don't want people to come in because they're just not interested in new friendships?
I mean, that would be one thing if you don't want to develop a one-on-one relationship with a new person who comes into the group. But in these toxic groups, that's when the things start happening, like you would start forming side groups.
I see.
So you might start a side chat saying, I can't believe so-and-so brought so-and-so in. That's fine if you don't want to be friends with everyone. No one does. But it doesn't mean you should try to control the relationships of other people within that group.
I love how you said it's just fine. You don't want to be friends with everyone. No one does. Nobody wants to be friends with everybody.
No, that can't be expected, right?
Yeah.
Like we all have our own personal interests and values.
But there are moms who would be watching that probably are identifying with this right now. And they just like, oh, okay, I'm in this situation. So now what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, so I always like to say the first step is naming it, right? And Most psychologists say this: name it to tame it. What a lot of moms that come to me say is, oh my gosh, I had no idea, A, that this happens, and B, there's a name for it. It is called relational aggression, and there's an actual name. And so naming it can help take away some of the emotional intensity and some of the shame and isolation that women feel. So you want to name it first and foremost. Next, I say don't make any major big decisions. If you decide to leave a mom group, it doesn't have to be an article, a blog. For Ashley, great. She's a big name. I think it's really helpful, but your regular moms out there, you can quietly start to disengage and form other more healthy relationships in other areas.
Yeah. You're just at a place in your life, I hope we all can agree, that you just got to put your energy where it just serves, your soul and who you are. Did you ever talk to Ashley, by the way?
No, but I did comment on her post or the article.
Okay.
And she mentioned that she had seen one of my posts and it made her feel less alone. And that's a
Oh.
huge, women feel alone in this.
Yeah.
It's very shameful and it doesn't have to be.
Well, we appreciate you coming here and having a conversation about it. Dr. Noelle Santarelli, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.